Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's SUPPS, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the WNBA coverage. If this is your first time, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date. If not, welcome back. We have just wrapped up round one of the WNBA playoffs, and we are getting started for the semifinals. There are 4 teams left. So we're going to just go over each matchup for the first round and then talk about what we're looking forward to in the semifinals. So we have the Liberty versus Atlanta Dream. Liberty just pretty much handled what they needed to handle. Sabrina Ionescu played absolutely just dominant in that last game. I believe she scored like 42 points or 36, something crazy like that. It was a real tight game though. It was competitive, but they ended up just getting it done there, especially in the second half, to run away with that last game. Obviously, Aces beat Seattle Storm. Again, they started rough in game one, shooting 11% from the field. Then they got it going. The second game, it was kind of close, or it was kind of back and forth early on, and then the Aces kind of took care of business in the second half. Phoenix and the Minnesota Lynx, Nafisa Collier, absolute dog. She had 33 straight 30-plus consecutive point games in the playoff, the most in playoff history. She scored 42 points on 70% shooting in game 2 to seal the deal against the Phoenix Mercury. So she's playing absolutely phenomenal. And then we also have Connecticut Suns, Indiana Fever. Indiana Fever, game 1, Caitlin Clark played okay, not the best. Game 2, she plays a little better, still shot under like 40-something%. I believe she was 3 for 12 from the 3. She was 10 for 23 from the field. But she played decent, and then Aaliyah Boston played well. But the Connecticut Suns, again, they're number 3 team. They were the number 1 team for a good amount of years. So they were anywhere from 1 to 3 for the season. So we're talking about one of the top teams in the W. So we're looking at semifinals. We got New York Liberty, Las Vegas Aces, which is going to be a rematch from the finals last year. We get that rematch in the semifinals, and we're going to have the Minnesota Lynx, Connecticut Suns. So I actually want to go over that. And then one quick shout out that I forgot to mention last week. Well, 2 actually. I don't know if I shouted out Skylar Diggins for the Seattle Storm, but she sets the assist record for the Seattle Storms, the franchise record. I don't remember if I said that or not, but I had that in my notes. I wanted to make sure I said that if I forgot. But shout out Skylar Diggins. Sets the franchise record for assists in a single season. And then shout out the Indiana Fever and Washington Mystics, the last game of the season, or I believe it was the second to last, one of the last 2 games of the season they played. Single game attendance record, 20,711, sets the record for the WNBA as the most attended game for the season. So shout out to both of those teams for setting that record up. Now, let's go over the matchups. We have the semifinals, Indiana Fever, Connecticut Suns. So looking at the matchup, pretty much I think this might end up being a that's the wrong matchup. Aces and Liberty. So I was looking at last week's. So as we all know, the Aces have had the number 1 points per game, the number 1 scoring offense in the W pretty much all season. So I think they're going to have to lean into that. They're 4th in 3-point field goal percentage, 2nd in free throws, but the New York Liberty are number 1 in rebounding. Offensive, they are 5th, but total rebounds, they are 1st. So if I'm the Las Vegas Aces, it's all about pace. They have the third best pace. So I think for the Aces, I think their game plan, or I think what they should lean into is transition. In transition, they're hard to beat. You got Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray that can distribute the ball to Aja Wilson and Jackie Young, people that are streaking down the middle of the court. You got just playmakers with the ball at high speeds. You also get into your sets, but I think it's really shooting the ball from a good percentage from the three. Again, they have they're fourth in 3-point field goal percentage. So but I don't know if I would lean into the 3-point game because Liberty's fifth. So they're pretty evenly matched from the perimeter. So I think scoring wise, it's going to come down to who is hitting it from the 3-point line most efficiently. Live by the three, die by the three kind of thing. But the Las Vegas Aces are the least turned over team. So Aces, I say get out in transition. You have to get out in transition, protect the ball, do the things you do. Get out in transition, score the basketball, protect the ball, and they have to find a way to keep like Stewie and Jaquel Jones off the boards. They cannot give up these second chance opportunities, and they need to get second chance opportunities on missed buckets. So I think they should really, really, really focus in on the rebounding, which with Aja Wilson might not be too hard, but it depends on how it gets set up with probably Stewie guarding Aja Wilson. So I'm interested to see how that works. Obviously, and if I'm New York Liberty, I'm boards. Second chance opportunities is what's going to kill teams. Second chance opportunities, and you really using that pick and roll with Jaquel Jones. That pick and roll you can even use it with Stewie and Jaquel. You can use it with Sabrina. You can use Vandersloot. I mean, the list goes on. Both teams have depth, but in terms of depth from shooting from the three, you really have some options on the New York Liberty side. So I think to combat the Aces' pace, maybe Liberty should lean into shooting shooting well at the perimeter, as well as making sure that they rebound and then forcing turnovers. The Aces don't turn the ball over. They're first in turnovers, means they give up the least amount of turnovers per game. So if you can force them to turn the ball over more than they do, then that's just more opportunities for you to score, and you get more opportunities to score because you're rebounding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm excited for that matchup. And in the other one, we have Connecticut Suns and the Connecticut. And then for that matchup, Liberty is a 3.5-point favorite for this game that's on the 29th. And the 29th is on, I believe that's Sunday or Monday. Yes, the 29th is on Sunday. So we got a little bit of time. Liberty's 3.5-point favorite. It's at New York for the first game of the semifinals. Connecticut Suns, Minnesota Lynx. Minnesota Lynx are 4.5-point favorite. And so for the Minnesota Lynx, they are third in 3-point field goal. So the things that they're dominant in compared to the Connecticut Suns are their 3-point field goal percentage, their assist ratio, their steals, they're second in steals, they're first in assists, they're first in 3-point field goal percentage, they're third in 3-point field goals. So, and they're also fourth in effective field goals. I'm not even gonna talk about. But what I do want to mention about these two teams is Connecticut is ranked first in defensive rating, and the Minnesota Lynx are second. So you have the number 1 and the number 2 defenses playing against each other, and their offenses are ranked middle of the pack. You have Connecticut's offense is 8th, the Minnesota Lynx offense is 6th. So, and then what Connecticut needs to do, Connecticut needs to really, really, really play solid defense on the perimeter. You can't get Nafisa Collier going high, even though she's going to kill you on all 3 levels. You got to take away the 3-point shot, and then anything inside 3-point line needs to be heavily contested. Get them off the 3-point line. Close out, get them to drive, rotate on defense, or close out, slide with them, get them off the 3-point line, make them make a move contested shot, make them have to make the shot, make them work for the shot. If you're the Connecticut Suns, because you got it, their 3-point per shooting is just phenomenal. And you're going to have to get to the basket. You're going to have to get to the basket. Again, talking about number 2 defense, get to the basket, get some free throws, get their free throws going. Their free throw range for the Kinetic Suns is not good, but just getting in the bonus early, getting the opposing team in foul trouble is going to have them switch up lineups. And if they have to switch up lineups to non-ideal or not lineups they wouldn't prefer, that puts you in a matchup advantage. That's if you're the Connecticut Suns. That's what I'm thinking. Does that make sense? Yes. And then just not turning the ball up. Now, if I'm the Minnesota Lynx, I'm doing the exact opposite. Number one thing is ball movement. The one thing about the Minnesota Lynx, their ball movement has been phenomenal. They are the number 1 in assists. Get everybody involved. Get everybody involved early. Get everybody going early. And what that does, if you get everybody involved early, cutting into the paint, dishing out, driving to the paint, finishing at the rim, that causes the defense to collapse, and that's going to leave people open on the perimeter. And that's when you lean into your high 3-point shooting as a team. Again, 3-point shooting is first in 3-point field goal percentage. They're shooting nearly 40% as a team, 38 to be exact. If you couple that with the number 1 assisted team, they have about 20, they're averaging 23 assists a game. And a good portion of those are probably 3-point shots. So they just need to work on that. And then obviously being the number 2 defense, they are second in steals. So they got to get in those lanes. So I think that is what I am looking forward to in this next matchup on Sunday. And I will have to catch you guys. And then I won't do another one until the finals get started. So I'm just going to do one video after each round. Do one after the semifinals have ended. And then I'll do one after the finals ended, before the finals, talk about that matchup, team rankings and all that stuff, what other teams have to exploit. And then I'll do one quick video after the finals, talk about the team that won, how the finals played out, and then basically closing off the season for the WNBA coverage. And it's going to be an exciting time. So we got about 2 episodes left for the season. It's been a fun one. I appreciate you guys for being here this long. And I appreciate the ones that have came in mid-season to hop on this journey with me. Again, I will catch you guys after the semis.